I'm Dr. Dan from Aligner Pro. We're going to discuss a little bit about anti-aging today, and so I'll try to keep this short and cover just some very basic things. Now, one thing that I want to address today is talking about how can you keep your body healthy for as long as possible, because before you get into exotic anti-aging methods, you need to cover the basics, and so that's what we're talking today, the basics. And the basics would be, number one, I like to do a nice blood test, and a fairly extensive one that shows all the basic electrolytes, lipid profile, thyroid profile, CBC, and others, just to see what systems might be stressed, because that will give us an idea of where we can support your body to keep it happy longer. Now, one thing, there's a disturbing trend, a couple of disturbing trends in healthcare today, and one is doing spot checks for some of these in blood tests. And in other words, insurance companies said they won't pay for the blood test, just doing a look-see. They want to see a specific, narrow blood test for a specific diagnosis. And this is really the wrong thing to do, and it just has no good health benefit. The other thing is that people tend to ignore their health until they're have about 6 months to live, and then they dump tons of money, I know, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes, in trying to repair things that shouldn't have been broken in the first place. So what we want to do today is talk a little bit about how you can keep things from breaking. And of course, no guarantees, but this will increase your probabilities. Now, the basic rule is for health is give your body what it does want and get out of there what it doesn't want. So that's learning what kind of foods and clean air with clean water that your body does want. And we like to do some blood testing to see what kind of antibody cascades your body might be into with some Cyrex labs, profiles 3 and 4. But we won't go into detail on that, but just to mention those, you can look that up, cyrxlabs.com. And also detox. Detox is something that you do all the time. It's not something you do once in a while, because if you just try to do a detox once a year, every 5 years, or go away to a nice spa and get detoxed, I mean, that's all well and good, but you need to be in pretty much a constant detox program, because you're just not going to play catch up. So I have a couple of favorite ideas about detox, which you can look for on other videos and other things written on alignnerpro.com in my health resources section. Now, glutathione patches are important, and I like those because those help your body produce more of its own glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. If you're not getting enough glutathione, you're not activating the vitamin C, vitamin E, CoQ10, and all these other things that are working hard to help you. But if you're low on glutathione, you're not going to get that same effect. I also like to see you take a little bit of carnosine. Now, carnosine is also a lifewave patch, and that stimulates this production of carnosine, which is a wonderful neuro-antioxidant. Not so much in other tissues, but it works really great in the brain and other nerve tissue. And also carnosine helps to keep the DNA nice and tightly wound, like it is when you're young. As you get older, it tends to unwind, and that's one of the makes it more susceptible to damage, and carnosine will help avoid that. And there's an old saying that you're only as young as your arteries, and I'm sure that that's true. And keeping your arteries flexible takes a few steps, but one of those is taking glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate. Now, you may have heard of taking those things for knee problems, for example, because it does help build cartilage, but what it also does is helps build really flexible connective tissue for your arteries. And that's just a nice side effect. So you're going to help all your joints, plus you'll help your arteries too. Another thing would be lots of omega-3 fatty acids. Volumes have been written about that, and we're a big fan of the way Nordic Naturals approaches the omega-3 fatty acid situation. They've been on top of this for many years, and they probably have the best system in the world for gathering and processing, getting those to you. And just watch out for those cheap fish oils, because they're cheap for a reason, and you want benefit. You just don't want to dump something in there and hope it'll work. So before you go off and try some exotic life extension protocols that might be expensive, like HGH shots or something, you're going to have to cover these bases, otherwise that's not going to work so well. So that's a basic summary of some things that you should be doing to help you out. And it's a pleasure to talk with you today, and hopefully that was helpful.